What's up, Goon Squad? Today, we're gonna focus on this 2015 Oscar Mike edition. I know we put it aside for a long time because that is my brother's Jeep. So we decided to help him out, get it done a lot faster. So we're gonna hook him up with some sanding and a paint job. So let's go check it out. Inside of that jam needs to get painted. A good bit of work here, so won't have to give him a good price because we do got this whole quarter panel here. Needs to be wet sanded. Inside of the jam, it's locked up. Fender, door, inside of the door, pretty much this whole side. And we got two fender flares that we got to paint also. They're not textured, they're actually painted. They're smooth. Just need to scuff them up and paint them.
You might not need a paint. That'd be good. Oh, that's one. Right here's the other.
That's an absolute mess in here. Smooth. What's the first step of this?
Well, first we're gonna pull this out, take the hardtop off, take this door off, scuff this fender. I think that's it, because black is a really easy color to match up, so we might not need to blend anything.
Also guys, the Sahara wheels, we're gonna let them dry for a couple hours before we throw them on the Sahara. But we are gonna go ahead and move the Rubicon out of the way. So this is where we're gonna pull the Oscar Mike edition to work on it and wet sand it. So that's how we got it parked right there. How every Rubicon should be parked, at a slope or on a hill, on some sort of terrain at least.
Oh, yeah.
And put that cone around it so nobody hits it.
Be careful.
Let's go pull that Oscar Mike edition closer to the garage. This where it's gonna be? Yeah.
No, I'm gonna take the hardtop off. Put it right there.
Oh yeah, I forgot to mention, like, to the people that haven't seen this build, give them a little update on where this Jeep came from and a little information about it.
I really don't know nothing about this Jeep.
All right guys, if you have not seen this build, this is actually my older brother's build. So he bought it and he started fixing it. I was helping him out. I recorded some of it, so you could check out. It's in one of the playlists. So I got a playlist for this build. It's the 2015 Oscar Mike edition. But we're gonna go ahead and help out a little bit, try to finish it off for him. And we might even do a little review on the Oscar Mike edition on what we think about it, the interior. And we'll show you guys all the features that the 2015 Oscar Mike edition provides.
So it was wrecked on this side. We had to replace the quarter panel and the door, so that is a new door or a used one, OEM.
Also, there was a little tweak to the track bar bracket, and the axle shaft was bent, so the axle got a little pushed that way, but we straightened the bracket out, welded it, got a track bar on there. It's sitting pretty straight. Also, the axle shaft itself was bent, so we changed that. Be sure to check out the earlier videos if you haven't seen that. But that's pretty much it for this. It got wrecked into this side, changed the door and a fender, and pretty much had it on the frame machine, had to get it pulled a little bit. So that's about it on the extent of the damage. So now we're about to get into it. We're about to sand it down and prep it for paint. All right, so we're gonna take this hardtop off. So first off, these Freedom panels come off, which is pretty unique feature of the JKs. I like that. So let's remove that, and then we'll remove the rear section. Ooh.
Yeah, we gotta paint that top.
It ain't good. You're gonna have to throw some primer there.
It needs Bondo, actually.
Right. A lot of wet sanding, a little bit of Bondo work, body work in general. But ain't nothing that we can't take care of, right?
Nope. So we're also gonna remove this door because this will probably be the last thing we sand and paint, because we have to get in the door jamb and everything. So let's just remove it for now.
We're gonna go ahead and back it up a little bit closer to the garage. That thing's ready for trails. Jeep life, man, I like that. I like the interior, but it's all a mess. About right there.
Next thing, we're gonna move this hatch right here. See what kind of sandpaper and stuff he got so we can use. He provided us with some supplies, so we're gonna take advantage.
Make some dings in it, give it the hail damage look.
Yeah,
effect.
Some very nice stuff right here. And if you're just an artist, you're gonna own this because this is legit.
Hey, Bondo is a form of art because
it's sculpting. You can't sculpt, you're not gonna have good body work.
Right. You gotta be creative in this automotive field, which YouTube and creation, dude, we gotta be creative. You gotta have taste.
So I'm just gonna use a piece of this 180 because over here, as you can see, there was a little bit of rust from where they grinded. I'm gonna sand all this with the 180. We're gonna prep it for some of this icing, some of this glazing putty. It's just like Bondo, but it's for a very minimum dents and whatnot. It's a lot easier to sand and it's a lot easier to work with. I waxed and greased and moved it after I sanded all the rust out of there and got it pretty smooth. So now I'm gonna use some of this icing, mix it up, make this really straight, and then get it prepped for primer. Alright, so I'm just going to go with a flat face block right here with the 180. Don't need anything more abrasive than that. Seems pretty dry, dried up quick, so now I'm going to go in straight lines.
While he's finishing up sanding this, I'm going to jump over here and take off this fender. So I just got this fender off, so I'm going to move over here. I need to take this door apart. Probably the best thing for me to do would hang it back up on the Jeep and then start taking it apart. So I've never taken apart a panel from a JK, but I don't think it should be too hard. I'm gonna start with the outer seals and work my way in to the harder pieces and the internals. So I just unscrewed all these bolts around this inner panel here, I guess you'd call it, and then I removed this little motor for the window. And also there was a bolt that was holding the handle into place. From here on, I believe you just got to somehow pop this glass out of the bracket because it's like something connected in there. All right, so the glass unclips down there. You got to kind of wedge your hand into there. It's not too bad. There's a special way that this comes out. There we go. Bango. All right, so you disconnect the cables which go to this handle inside. Pretty much unclip this panel. Clip it off, and that's about it. Next thing to do is just unscrew this 10mm bolts, and that just unclips. And that's it for the door panel. Over here, he's got it taped up, and he's prepping it for primer. We got it taped off with some masking tape and some masking paper. All right, so before we prime, we went ahead and threw a little tarp on the inside to kind of avoid any overspray on the dash or the seat.
I'm gonna spray a guide coat of black paint on it.
It's pretty much dry, so now we're just gonna untape it. All right, so next we're gonna move on to wet sanding. I'm probably gonna start with sanding the inside of this door with the 600 grit. As I wet sand with the 600 grit on the door, he's gonna start sanding on the quarter panel. All right guys, a couple hours later here, we've almost got this whole side wet sanded down. It's pretty smooth. I got the whole inside of this door sanded. That's the most time consuming part of this process, is the wet sanding, which the inside of this door probably took the longest because it has the most crevices and just the hard to reach places, but the flatter areas should be a little bit more easier. We got a little bit more wet sanding to do, but we're getting some progress. We're getting some major progress done. He's using some
Glazing putty to get all the little paint chips and rock chips and whatnot.
final touches here, and I think tomorrow we'll be spraying this Jeep in. All right, so everything is finally sanded down on the Jeep. The only thing that'd be left to sand would be that fender and 2 fender flares which are in the Jeep, which the 2 fender flares and the fender will get painted separately with the door also. All right, so this thing is officially ready to go into the paint booth. We're gonna crank it up and take it that way. There's no room in here.
Yeah. In the laps will be room.
Hold the camera.
Okay.
Is it fun?
Yes.
Oh no, where's the kitty? Where's the kitty? Cat gone? Here, you drive. Okay, left, right, right. Got it pulled in. It gives us plenty of room over here because we are only painting one side. So this is gonna be ideal for this situation here. Should be pretty easy to paint. Hopefully all goes well. All right guys, so we gotta go pick up some black paint. So we're actually gonna throw the wheels on this Jeep, and we're probably gonna drive this to the shop and pick up some paint. So let's throw them on and see what it looks like. Man, that thing looks good, but it's not done yet. We got a little surprise in stores for it, so stay tuned for that. There's gonna be a little slight change to this. Let's go get that paint. Welcome to the jungle. No, just kidding guys, check it out. It's a little dark outside, but good thing we upgraded our lighting. Looks great, shines great. The darkness is not gonna stop us. So we just picked up some paint. We also picked up some sealer. Eyes are super red. So I've been out in the sun all day working, but we're not stopping just yet. We're still going. We're gonna get this thing painted today, so tomorrow we can paint the rest of the panels. So
Goon Squad never sleeps.
hey, we don't sleep, man. We don't get tired. So there you have it. We're gonna get this thing slicked in. We actually upgraded our air system with a tank, so it's gonna give us better pressure. So we're upgrading as we go, guys. So you gotta stay tuned, or we're only getting better. So be sure to like and subscribe as usual. Got that covered up. Now we just need to drop our automotive wrap, which will go over the whole Jeep and under here, so we don't get any overspray underneath the Jeep. So we dropped it across the whole Jeep, down to the ground on both sides. One step closer. So we'll first throw some sealer down before we throw the paint. Oh, so I'm gonna go ahead and wax and grease remove it while he's gonna be mixing that up. Ooh, that's white.
All right, so we ran into a problem. We accidentally grabbed the wrong sealer. It was right by the acrylic sealer, and we accidentally grabbed the urethane sealer, which was a big mistake. It's not the ready to spray stuff. We just noticed it. We opened the can. It's the wrong stuff. So we're gonna just hop back on it tomorrow in the morning and paint the Jeep up early in the morning.
And also there's a ton of bugs out here, so it probably happened for a reason. So we're not gonna stress out. We're just gonna call it a day, and we'll be right back out here tomorrow.
All right, guys, so we picked up the right sealer this morning, and we're gonna spray it in here shortly. So let's get to it. All right, guys, so today we got the right sealer. Last night we got the wrong stuff, so we're ready to seal this thing. We already wax and grease removed it, and we're warming up the paint booth, as you can see, because it kind of got a little chilly this morning, and just gonna warm it up to around 70, something like that, so the sealer and the tub and everything can be warm enough to spray it in, let it dry, and then we're gonna paint this thing today. Let's get to it. Slicker than slickety slick.
We're done with the sealer. We bought a brand new gun, primer gun, which is like 15, 17 bucks, somewhere around that range. Our old one, actually, we dropped it, so the tip kind of got ruined, so we went ahead and got that. So now we're just gonna go ahead and mix up the paint. So we just wet the whole floor down. Sealer's still a little bit wet, but I just want to show you guys what it looks like. Give it about 10 more minutes to dry, and then we'll be spraying in the paint. Two coats of base down, and now we're mixing up some clear coat. 2 coats of clear on it. We're about to throw one more, and I think we'll be done. All right, guys, there you have it. 3 coats of clear. Officially untaping it now. Let's give it a couple hours in here, and then we'll take it out of the tent. Jeep's ready to go out in the sunlight. All right, let's get these doors hung up. So this is how we got it set up. Door right there, fender flare there, and the fender there. So we got it all scuffed down. We're gonna wax and grease remove it, and then we're gonna spray these items in. The Jeep is out in the sunlight, getting hot. It's gonna need some buffing, because I know watching other painters, black is a very hard color to get perfect.
Try to do it best as we can.
Right.
Man, it's turned out pretty good though.
Yeah, it turned out pretty good. Doing our usual watering down of the floor to prevent dust. Got the sealer poured up. We're gonna go seal those parts. Just threw the sealer on the door, the fender, and the flare. So how'd it look in there?
Looked really good. Now time to throw 2 coats of base, or 3, just depends, and get it finished.
Second coat of base, pouring it up. How's it looking? Alrighty, guys, let's see this finished product. It's looking slick. See that reflection? It's still a little bit wet. Fender turned out great. But man, that's looking pretty good. It's just gonna need some buffing.
For what we have, this booth, man.
Yeah, I know, right?
It's pretty good.
Pretty dang good. That's about it. I mean, we just gotta wait for it to cure, dry up, and then we'll start putting stuff back together, and then we'll give it about a week, and then we'll start buffing.
All right, guys, so today we accomplished it. We finished painting the Jeep. We still got a few more weeks to go before we'll color sand it and buff it, and then we'll start putting it back together and piecing the pieces together and putting everything on and finishing it up.
As usual, follow me on Instagram to get the inside scoop of something before YouTube. If you're new, please like and subscribe so you don't miss out on these awesome build videos. Also, be sure to check out goonsquad.com, copy a shirt, copy some merch or a decal, copy some of the hottest merch, and support your boys. If you want to support us, we would greatly appreciate you becoming a Patreon, and you're going to make these videos a whole lot better, and we're going to create more content for you. So guys, be sure to stay tuned, and we'll see you next time.